Well, it's a beautiful spring morning over here at the Norfolk Broads cottage. It's been a heavy mist overnight, sub-zero temperatures with a ground frost, but now that's burnt off, taken a few hours. We're back to a beautiful blue Norfolk sky. We've come over today to have a little look at this garden and see where it is. Still in early spring, end of February. Things are starting to come into growth now, but this garden is still quite low lying and being quite close to the coast tends to get some of the more easterly weather thrown at it for longer periods during spring. Can be a little later, but let's have a look around, see what we can find and see what's coming on at this time of year. These snowdrops were moved here only last year, but we did put decent sized clumps in. It's a lovely big double flower, and they're planted around the base of this Magnolia stellata, which has got some fantastic bud formation on it. That's going to be beautiful in a couple of months' time. But it's the snowdrops that are doing their thing at the moment. If I remember rightly, this is that beautiful full double. Just look at that dense centre, that beautiful green striation and the yellow sepals with the 4 petals on the outer side, and plenty of them flowering beautifully here. And this hellebore is one of the best varieties I know. Formed a fantastic large clump, beautiful dark colour and a lovely upright form. Got a really good rich dark colour both on the underside of the flowers, which tends to be the side that you see predominantly, but also a nice full front to the flowers, and again beautiful colour all the way through, and even the buds as they come out, really nice pure rich colour. And this has seeded itself around quite extensively. All these little plants coming up, you'll see these small ones here are seedlings, and if you keep just one colour variety in an area, the cross seedlings will more or less come pure. If you've not grown hellebores before, I would encourage you to go for a pure, strong coloured variety, and to buy decent sized plants as well, because these do take quite a while to grow into good sized plants. But when they get going, you have this lovely burst of early colour, which lasts for about a month to 6 weeks. A little planting of tete-a-tetes was put in last year, just by planting pots directly into the ground when they were still in flower, and it's just survived nicely, picking up this moss covered brick path that weeds its way through the shrubbery to the old summer house in the back of the border. The rose borders on either side of the rondelle have been planted with these Queen of the Night tulips. See the green coming through the surface now. Really need to get some work done on these borders to start tidying them up and just scarify the tops and weed them around. You can do that this time of year, and now you can see where the tulips are coming up without risking damaging them. These are a tall variety of tulip, hold their flowers at around 18 inches, and they're not going to be flowering here for another 5 or 6 weeks, I guess, maybe even longer. What we are going to have a lot earlier than that is these daffodils. They're almost coming into flower now, just starting to show some colour in the buds along the base of this hedge, getting their lovely morning sunlight here, which will bring them on quite quickly now. And here in the little vegetable garden is where we've planted out successive pots of daffs that we haven't been able to squeeze in anywhere else, or thought, well, we'll plant them here and have them as a cutting garden. and they're ready now to be harvested. We haven't been across to this garden. I actually looked in the diary when we arrived, since the 12th of December was the last visit here. The beds with the asparagus all being cut down nicely, the rhubarb crown in the back there. If I just pan up towards the riverbank, all very peaceful this time of year, just the bird song in this beautiful bright spring sunlight. Lovely. Cottage is really being bathed in this bright sunlight this morning. Wisteria, you can see, still showing no sign of breaking any bud or leaf, but we're only at the end of February. Wouldn't expect it to be doing so, but we are getting a little bit of colour along the base of the cottage with some daffodils, a few snowflakes coming out. So this is going to start coming back to life very, very quickly, and I think this spring's going to be quite rapidly progressive after the cold January and February that we had to start with. Everything's just waiting to come on, and we've got crocus and daffodils flowering spontaneously at the same period, which you wouldn't normally have in a warmer, more gentle, gradual spring. Look at this lovely little drift of cyclamen coming through at the base of this daffodil planting at the base of the hedge going out over the dike. That's lovely the way that's come through. Also last year, one of the things I did bring across from the farm garden in the woodland there is a lot of these natural primroses, and they've survived quite nicely along here. We've got, when you start looking closely, quite a number of them survived in this bank. It's right on the middle of this little cut that comes in to the garden, which is one of the drainage ditches for the island that this cottage is situated on. Again, looking a little murky there. The water's quite clear, but a lot of scum and dead debris on the top, and the reeds still yet to start growing. More daffs in the back bank over there, which should be nice later in the season. And again, a bit of warmth should bring this on nicely, so a lot to look forward to in this garden over the next couple of weeks.